This is white sugar, which I'm sure you've used a million times. And this is brown sugar, another pantry staple that I'm sure you've used in many recipes over the years. These are just two types of sugar and are part of a far broader class of sweeteners that you're likely familiar with. But have you ever seen or even heard of this? This odd cone-shaped thing is called piloncillo, and it might just be the sweetener that you've never heard of. Well, that all ends today. I'm going to tell you all about piloncillo, how it compares to white and brown sugar, how it tastes, and, well, how to cook with it. I can promise you this is going to be one sweet episode. Hello and welcome to I Want to Cook. My name is Chef Matt and this channel is all about helping you be a better cook. And yeah, this odd little cone can definitely make you a better cook, and it's also the correct answer to last week's culinary trivia. Congratulations to all of these folks who correctly identified this as piloncillo. Now, piloncillo is also known as panela, and it gets its name from the Spanish term for pylon because, well, they kind of look like pylons that you might drive your car around. But let's answer the question you're probably really asking, and that is, what is piloncillo? Well, piloncillo is an unrefined sugar that is made exclusively from sugarcane. So, versus something like this white or this brown granulated sugar, that is a refined sugar that can be made from either sugar cane or sugar beets. Now again, this piloncillo is far less refined than something like white sugar or brown sugar. To make this stuff, well, simply sugar cane is boiled and then it is poured into molds to create these little, well, pylons or piloncillos. Also worth noting is just like there are two types of brown sugar, either light or dark brown sugar, there are two shades of piloncillo. The lighter shade is called blanco and the darker shade is called oscuro. And my apologies if I'm not pronouncing those correctly. I'm sure I'll hear about it in the comments below. Now, I said that piloncillo might be the sweetener that you've never heard of, but that's almost certainly not the case if you live in Mexico or a Latin American country. This stuff has been around a long time. In fact, it goes back at least 500 years in Mexico, but it can be found far beyond Mexico's borders. More on that in a minute. Also worth noting is that Latin America is hardly alone in having its own version of an unrefined solidified sugar. So this is from India. This is called jaggery, and you can see it's very similar in appearance to piloncillo. This has a little more of a rounded top, but same sort of thing. This is a solidified, unrefined sugar, and it's also delicious. Now, while it might be tempting to think of piloncillo as simply compacted brown sugar because, well, it's sugar and it's brown, it's not the same as brown sugar. Brown sugar is actually refined white sugar that has had molasses added back in, so it gets that color and additional flavor. And as you might recall from my episode on molasses, well, molasses is a byproduct of sugar refining. So essentially they refine the sugar, they take the molasses out, and then for brown sugar they add it back in. But piloncillo, well, it's simply an unrefined boiled sugar cane that is left to solidify. So it has all of those things naturally. They don't need to add molasses back into it to get the color. These also have distinctly different textures. This brown sugar here, well, it's kind of sandy. It's, pretty loose and, it's easy to work with. Piloncillo, on the other hand, well, this stuff is hard, like really hard. Okay, so how does Piloncillo taste compared to brown sugar? Well, with apologies to my dentist, this is for the sake of y'all. So brown sugar, you know what brown sugar tastes like. It's got a little bit of a more depth than white sugar because of that molasses. It's good. It's, you know, it's very sweet. But Piloncillo, as you can see here, I've got it in the form similar to brown sugar. Wow. I'm telling you, it's like if you've ever had one of those sugar canes that you've just sucked on and it's so sweet and it's got that complexity. Well, that's what Piloncillo is. This stuff is so good and in my opinion is, well, just so much better than just brown sugar. It's sweet, but it's not like cloying. It's got, all I can say, like a complexity to it. It's got a depthness to it. It just try it. It is so good. And I think, well, it's almost like high definition brown sugar. Okay, as good and sweet as Piloncillo is on its own, just like with brown sugar, you're probably not going to just be eating it on its own. So how do you use Piloncillo? Well, the simple answer is you can pretty much use it in any application that you would sugar or brown sugar. So that can be in everything from tea and coffee to baked goods like cornbread. Heck, you can even use it in savory applications like that bold and brawny barbecue sauce that we made a while back. But rather than simply adding brown sugar to it, if you use Piloncillo, well, that's going to bring a whole new depth of flavor and a wonderful complexity to that sauce. But of course, first you have to get Piloncillo into a manageable form that you can use. You probably don't want to just throw that cone in your recipe. But making that happen is easy. For smaller amounts, you can use a serrated knife and just kind of glide across the surface and just shave it off that way. Or you can use our friend the box grater that we talked about last week. You can just grate your Piloncillo and then you will get something similar to brown sugar. You can also use like a microplane or a zester for Piloncillo for smaller amounts. That's how I like to put it into my cappuccino and coffee drinks. If you find the Piloncillo is still too hard to grate, you can pop it in the microwave just as you would for brown sugar to cook it for a moment to let it soften. As for storing Piloncillo, well, that's easy. Just like with brown sugar, you want to keep it sealed and in a dark space. You want to really kind of wrap that tightly and it's going to last a long time, probably up to a year. Now, personally here in Southern California, it's kind of ant season, so I keep mine in the refrigerator tightly wrapped, so just beware of that. It is sweet and, well, some things other than your kids might be seeking it out. Okay, now that I've whetted your appetite about Piloncillo, you might be wondering where to buy it. Well, again, here in Southern California, it's pretty much ubiquitous. I mean, of course, you can find it at Mexican and Latin American markets, but here in SoCal, since we are so close to Mexico, I can find this even in my mainstream grocers. Now, if you don't have a Mexican or Latin market near you, you can, of course, order this online, and it really doesn't cost very much. I think these cones go for maybe, I don't know, $1.50 or $2.50, something like that, and they should last you a long time, so it's very inexpensive. And again, the flavor you get out of this is just like unreal. Now, if you do shop for Piloncillo, and I hope you do, one thing of note is you might see something like this. This is called Piloncillo or brown sugar, but well, it differs from the kind that I like. Now, this is actually made from granulated sugar, and it's got some other ingredients in it like refiner's syrup, and yeah, it tastes all right, but I like, well, I think what I would call the more authentic stuff. And this is the label from the bottom of the cone that I was using. This was made in Colombia and is just 100% sugar cane. And I think that this version tastes far better than, well, this stuff here. And they really don't cost much different at all. So there you go. There's a little Piloncillo 101. I hope you try this. Maybe if you see it in the market, you've always kind of wondered what this stuff is. Grab a cone, shave some off, try it in your favorite recipe. I'd love to hear what you think of it. But if you have been using this stuff, well, maybe for generations, I want to hear from you too. What recipes do you use it in? What tales do you have of Piloncillo? I would love to know in the comments below. Okay, before we get to trivia time, a little show and tell. Oh, guys, look at this beauty that I picked up at the thrift store. I think it was last week. This is a beautiful All-Clad 2-quart pan with a lid. I think I paid, I don't know, $8 or $9 for this. And as you can see, this is from their LTD line. So that means that while it has the wonderful stainless steel interior, it has this anodized aluminum exterior, kind of like what you would find with Calphalon. Oh my gosh. Again, guys, this is why I thrift. This is why I encourage you to thrift. You can find some wonderful cookware. This probably cost at least $100 new, and it cleaned up well. I cannot wait to begin cooking with this, my new 2-quart All-Clad LTD pan. Well, new to me. Okay, trivia time. We have another small culinary tool. I hope I can get in focus here. Look at this thing. It looks like kind of like one of those stage hooks that they yank the people off stage when they're talking too long, but on a miniature scale. It's got a sharp end at this tip here. What is this? If you know what this is or you have a guess, be sure to put that in the comments below, and I will of course let you know what this thing is in the next episode. As always, thank you so much for watching. Thank you for subscribing. Until next time, I hope you want to cook.